summaries. Published by Daily Maverick. The latest Trump tariffs on SAW smells of a bigger BRICS battle. In a move that has South African exporters clutching their rosé and oranges, Trump's latest tariff slap, a hefty 30% on all exports, has left the local wine industry and its boardrooms scrambling to navigate the chaos of unilateral trade warfare. Western Cape's killing fields highlight devastating impact of illegal guns. In Cape Town's grim new normal, where mass shootings have become routine, the police are scrambling to tackle an epidemic of illegal firearms fueling a deadly gang war. Vincent Kruwagen and Sunny Payne. Mbenga inquiry told of peeled bananas, a marinade, and then, muffin. Judge President Selby Mbenga defended his sensual emoji exchanges with Court Secretary Andis Wamingo, claiming that a peeled banana and a few suggestive fruits were merely playful flirtations, while Mingo maintained that his relentless advances were unwelcomed. Is I the real threat to our future? For as long as civilizations have risen, humanity has encountered existential threats. From disease to war, ideology to empire, we have faced collapse and clawed our way back. And yet, this moment feels different. Not because it is, but because of how it is experienced by almost 5 billion people. On screen. Conviction reveals criminal syndicates shifting focus in illegal plant trade. The conviction of 4 people in the Northern Cape for the illegal poaching of the miracle bush lily reveals that criminal syndicates are targeting a wider array of South Africa's unique flora for international markets. Mkwanaxi's warning: drug cartel, criminal syndicate infests SAW law enforcement. KwaZulu Natal Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi has accused Police Minister Senzo Mchunu of orchestrating a cover-up to protect a high-level criminal syndicate infiltrating South Africa's law enforcement, leaving the nation to wonder if the cops are actually in cahoots with the criminals they're supposed to catch. President Ramaphosa's national dialogue is out of touch with African grassroots. We need honest, uncomfortable, face-to-face conversations with those carrying the daily weight of South Africa's hardships. Apricot jam lollipolly, a taste of youth from another time. Here's a pudding from the long old roads when your dad would stop the car in front of a hotel and later you'd go in to dinner. At the end of the meal, if you'd been a good boy, a steaming bowl of jam lollipolly would be placed before you. All eyes on Springbok Bomb Squad 2.0 ahead of Gqeberha decider as Rassie tinkers. Rassie Erasmus has picked an entirely new bench with the aim of boosting the Springboks' second-half performance and dismantling Italy's grenade squad. Up for it. Inside the Trump administration's diplomatic vanishing act at Antarctic Treaty meeting. The U.S. delegation's complete absence of discussion papers at the recent Antarctic Treaty meeting has left observers wondering if Washington is simply taking a permanent vacation from the frozen continent's governance. Elevating the game. Carling Black Label connects local fans to the world's biggest stage. In South Africa, football goes beyond sport. It has become a source of unity, identity, and pride. An inheritance passed down through generations, played in backyards, watched on township screens and argued about on taxi rides and in local bars. Its energy is in the chants on the stands, the pride in the jersey and the belief that the fan is as much a part of the match as the players on the pitch. Proteas crush Zimbabwe and extend winning streak to a record 10 tests. South Africa, 626 for the 5th of December, Leon Mulder 367, David Bedingham 82, Tanaka Chum 211, B Zimbabwe, 170, Sean Williams 83, Prenelin Subrayan 4-42, Cody Youssef 2-20, and 220, Nick Welch 55, Corbin Bosch 4-38, Semirin Muthasamy 3-77, by an innings and 236 runs. Quiz it, solve it, sing it, race it, find your happy with BBC Brit every night. From feel-good favorites to nail-biting premieres, BBC Brit invites you to tune in, unwind and find your happy every night of the week. After the bell. Thanks for the letter, Donald. We'll think about it. In a classic case of "we're all in this together," Trump's latest tariff letters reveal that South Africa is just another pawn in his trade chess game, where the real strategy lies in leveraging our platinum supply to remind the US that sometimes, the boss can be bossed around too. The troubled state of higher education under Nobule Nkabane's watch. Higher Education Minister Nkabane has been under scrutiny after controversial SETA's appointments involving ANC comrades, raising questions of whether she is fit for the job. Other issues within the post-school education and training sector include inadequate NSFAS funds, accommodation woes and student debt. Giraffes under siege. The silent crisis of trophy hunting and its threat to survival. On the savannas of Africa's vanishing wilderness, the world's tallest mammal is being quietly driven towards extinction, not by habitat loss alone, but by the insatiable appetite for trophies that turn gentle giants into rugs and fly whisks. New mothers denied access to Gauteng health facilities by anti-migrant groups. With anti-migrant groups blocking foreign nationals from access, health facilities are becoming battlegrounds for exclusionary health care. Donors urged to suspend aid to Tanzanian government after poisoning attempt on detained opposition leader. Tanzania's opposition leader Tundu Lissu, already nursing the scars of a previous assassination attempt, now faces an alleged poisoning plot behind bars, prompting his lawyers to call for donor countries to hit pause on aid to the government. NMB Business Chamber calls for urgent mitigation after devastating U.S. tariff announcement. South Africa's automotive sector is bracing for a bumpy ride as a hefty 30% U.S. import tax threatens to derail the economy of Nelson Mandela Bay, leaving local exporters and their thousands of employees in a precarious position. The power of collaborations, thriving through unlikely alliances. Imagine this: a digital playground where players explore endangered heritage sites, not through travel, but through the wildly popular blocky, pixelated universe of the 3D adventure sandbox game Minecraft. This imaginative experience was made possible when Minecraft joined forces with the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, enabling players to virtually wander through historic sites while learning about cultural preservation. A partnership between a gaming platform and a global educational organization may seem unlikely, yet it became a powerful tool for raising awareness. Bach test. Gqeberha's Belinda Davids thrilled to sing national anthem at home for first time. After years of performing on global stages and singing the national anthem for the Springboks, Gqeberha-born powerhouse Belinda Davids will finally do it on home turf, when South Africa takes on Italy at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. For the singer, best known for her celebrated Whitney Houston tribute, it's more than a gig, it's a homecoming. Springboks return to Gqeberha sparks pride, nostalgia, and a playful Rassie Erasmus. When the Springboks return to Gqeberha this weekend, it won't just be a test match, it's a hometown reunion. From fan petitions to rename a highway after coach Rassie Erasmus, to emotional homecomings for players, the Boks-friendly city fixture is packed with pride, nostalgia and local heart. Educated for leadership and engulfed by scandal, Minister Nkabane faces her sternest test. Nobule Nkabane, once the shining star of higher education reform, has quickly become a political piñata, facing allegations of corruption and mismanagement that have turned her promising tenure into a scandalous soap opera. Under the weather. Trump's 30% tariff on SAW based on inaccurate trade data, Ramaphosa. Trump has dealt South Africa a hefty 30% tariff on imports, effective the 1st of August, while dangling the tantalizing prospect of a trade thaw, if Ramaphosa can sweeten the deal. Harm reduction or harm addition? The tobacco industry on trial. A key tobacco industry tactic to mislead regulators while attracting new users is the introduction of new tobacco and nicotine products. These include heated tobacco products, vapes, snus and oral nicotine pouches. There is no loneliness epidemic, so why do we keep talking as if there is? Building cultures that outlast politics, moving forward from the seeming collapse of DAE and B. DAE programs can be undone almost overnight through presidential decree. B policies risk favoring the elite and leaving ordinary citizens behind. Trump's budget is not the end, it's the beginning of the end of America. By late Thursday the House had approved the bill, and on Friday, Independence Day in America, Trump signed it into law. Now the country, and the global economy, awaits the fallout. Crypto Corner. Crypto can play a role in the virtual and physical property game. The U.S. Federal Housing Finance Agency is considering crypto assets as collateral for home loans, proving that in the age of digital property, even imaginary money can help you secure a very real roof over your head. Super Tuesday. Leek, onion, zamalek and obis soup with a Parmesan crouton. When I slid my spoon into this soup and savored it, I could taste the leeks, onions, cheese and beer, and that touch of sweetness from the sherry. This soup, like many dishes worth making and eating, is all about that balance. R6M embezzled from special needs school. Experts say it's part of a larger education crisis. A Pretoria school was left drowning in debt while its HR manager secretly siphoned off millions of rands. Instead of the education and well-being of its students, many of whom rely on wheelchairs and specialized care, these funds were funneled into the former employee's gambling addiction and a car purchase. Commenting on his sentencing, experts say it highlights deep systemic failings in the school's financial oversight, and an urgent need for stronger accountability measures. Tshwane city manager faces ANC push for removal, 3 years on. The ANC is angling to oust Tshwane city manager Johan Metler, 3 years after his appointment, raising questions about whether it's about governance or political nepotism. Accusations of indecent exposure, lies fabricated to shame him, Mbenninga tells tribunal. Eastern Cape Judge President Selby Mbenninga defended his overtures as sensuality, while accusing tribunal leader advocate Salome Scheepers of bias and failing to source evidence that could clear his name. The name is political party donation, the game is procurement. The only alternative to state capture is a competing model in which auditors, lawyers and media search not for whether the party got a kickback, because it will, but whether there was enough value for money created to justify the whole value chain. Can SAW shoppers afford Woolies, store of the future? Welcome to Woolworth's Food Emporium in Durbanville, where the only thing more curated than the artisanal sushi is the customer experience. If only it could find a way to deliver that same level of finesse through its notoriously glitchy app. Watch, in the secretive Christian sect under FBI investigation. A shadowy Christian sect known as the 2x2s, 2x2s, also called the Truth, the Way, or the No Name Church, is at the center of a shocking global child sexual abuse scandal. A Daily Maverick investigation reveals that South African members have also come forward with disturbing allegations. The FBI and SAPS have confirmed an active investigation into historic sexual abuse within the church. Marianne Tham explains. Junior Box look like the real deal as they advance to Under-20 Championship semifinals. The SAW metal industry faces existential crises across several fronts. The domestic steel dispute takes a new turn as the Government Gazette reveals punitive 52% duties that could reshape South Africa's industrial landscape. Oh, and we're running out of scrap metal. Sahel terror groups turn civilian drones into deadly, kamikaze, weapons. As armed groups shift away from direct confrontations with the military, commercial drones are increasingly used to carry out attacks. Pure and simple, walking with cheetahs across the plains of the wild Great Karoo. Taxes and tariffs, Trump's big wins, but be careful what you wish for. The Trump administration is claiming a major victory with the passage of its One Big Beautiful Bill, even if many of its provisions may hurt the Republicans' chances in the midterm election next year and turn the economy away from the future. Then there is all the uproar over a new tariff regimen that is about to crash down on the rest of the world. Missing lessons for SAW's digital public infrastructure push from a decade of smart city efforts. Balancing dreams and dread, the anxiety around make or break final exams. After the bell, shopping sucks, but SAW is stitching a comeback. Rand Water defends winter maintenance project as necessary inconvenience, despite taps running dry. Rand Water's winter maintenance project is a necessary evil aimed at preserving Johannesburg's water infrastructure. But with vandalism throwing a wrench in the works, Reddits are left parched and wondering if they'll ever see their taps flow again. June 2025 roundup of Daily Maverick's #live journalism. Kings Beach reopens after week-long sewage spill in Gqeberha.